How's everyone doing? Today I'll be showing you my Blu-ray horror movies, and I'll be doing it by shelf. So this video will be shelf number 1 of my horror Blu-ray collection. And they are alphabetized. I had a lady friend come over and alphabetize them for me. So if anything's out of order, it's on her. But here we go. Here is the Blu-ray horror collection. Shelf 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's someone stacked over there. I'm going to have to make another shelf down there for shelf number 6. Right now I have my Arrow Blu-rays right there, and then some horror box sets and stuff over on that side. So I'll have to move that down a shelf and make some more room. Again, I still have, pan back here a little bit, I've got these 3 bookcases right here, and then I've got all the stuff on the floor, and then a bunch in the closet and stuff, all back here and there. And here's some stuff. I was going to do some food reviews and stuff like that. I still might do that. And I have over here more stuff, and there's some in the closet over here as well, in the box over there, and there's a box underneath there as well. So I have a little bit of everything everywhere. Now, I'm not sure if I showed these ones right here on the side as well, but I do plan to get 2 more bookcases, one there and one there. And I want to get like 2 extra shelves for each bookcase, so hopefully that will get everything off the floors and be able to present everything properly. That's the goal. But anyways, let's get back onto the horror Blu-ray shelf number 1. And as always, if you've seen these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them as well. And I want to say that this does not include horror Blu-ray steelbooks, digipacks, Arrow video releases, and box sets and things like that. So this is just essentially Blu-ray keep cases for horror movies right here. Let's check it out. Alright, horror Blu-ray shelf number 1 starts out with 12-12-12, which I actually still haven't seen. I will be watching it soon. I saw 11-11-11, which I thought wasn't that bad. A lot of people just crapped all over it. I mean, it wasn't the greatest movie ever, but I mean, I'd say it was a little bit better than average. But 12-12-12 seems to be a gimmick they're doing. So is 13-13-13 coming up next? And 14-14-14. I guess you can't really do that, but why not, you know? You could always do something. 1408 with John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. I thought this was a really creepy, atmospheric film, and I really liked John Cusack in his darker roles. I really liked him in Identity as well. Two-Headed Shark Attack, which was a huge disappointment. I thought this was going to be a cheesy, fun movie, which I like cheesy, fun horror movies. I think the biggest thing with this was the acting was really bad. It had a lot of recognizable like D-list actors, Carmen Electra, Brooke Hogan, Charlie O'Connell, but the effects also were pretty bad, the CG effects. But I really like the concept. That's the main reason I'm keeping it in here, and I don't know, I should probably let this movie go. I just really hope that one day maybe somebody remakes this and does it justice, because I thought it was a really fun, cool idea that could have been really entertaining, and it just really wasn't. It had a couple okay moments, but I should let that movie go. 2359. This was pretty creepy as well. They could have played it up a little bit more. It's set, I believe, on an island, and there's like a military training camp there, and there's a legend, and you find out about it, and it's pretty creepy. 28 weeks later. I have 28 days later on Blu-ray Steelbook, and that's region free, I believe, but the 28 weeks later region is region B locked for the Steelbook. I don't know why, and my region-free Blu-ray player stopped working, so I have to find a new one. So I'm going to just keep the regular keep case Blu-ray for now until I get a region-free player again. Then I'll get probably the Steelbook. I will say, though, I think 28 weeks later is a little derivative, while 28 days later was genre-defining. But I do think it's a great sequel, very action-packed, more so than the original. And I know they're making a 28 months later, which is kind of funny, but I am looking forward to it because I do enjoy both of the films, 28 Days and Weeks. Next up is 30 Days of Night, which has become one of my favorite vampire movies and one of my favorite horror movies of all time as well. I absolutely love this one. I love movies with a snowy setting, and this was a perfect concept right here. Vampires in Alaska during the 30 Days of Night, taking advantage of that. And again, I always say this, I love how the blood really pops on the white snow. Really awesome, and really great performance from Ben Foster in here as well. Great ending to it too. 100 Ghost Street, The Return of Richard Speck. Still have to check this one out. The ABCs of Death, really fun Alphabet horror anthology movie. They're doing a lot of horror anthology movies lately, which I enjoy. A lot of creative ideas. It's a mixed bag overall, but I think the good outweighs the bad. There's a couple in here that are just kind of like, really? Come on, you could have done more with that money. But I'm looking forward to checking out the sequel as well. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Classic right there. Adopting Terror, which is another one I still need to check out. It has Sean Astin in it. The Aggression Scale. I need to rewatch this one. It's been a while, but I remember thinking it was pretty intense. Apollo 18, great found footage sci-fi horror film. I'm not a big fan of the found footage genre, but I thought it worked really well right here. Great atmosphere. A lot of people hate on it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. AVP. I like the first Alien vs. Predator movie. I know a lot of people don't, but Requiem, I hated the sequel. And I was able to get this signed up by Lance Henriksen right there. And I remember posting a picture of this on Facebook that I was able to get it signed by him. And his page for his book ended up commenting and liking the picture. So that was pretty cool. I think they said something like awesome or, you know, glad you liked it or something. I can't remember exactly what they wrote, but I just remember thinking that was cool. I don't know if it's run by him or, you know, his marketing company or whoever, you know, manager or whoever does that kind of stuff, but still pretty cool. American Mary from the Soska Sisters. Great job from them. Really enjoy this one. Some great psychological horror. I will say, though, I was disappointed by See No Evil 2 from the Soska Sisters, which was their first studio film. Hopefully they'll get back on target with their next film, but really enjoyed American Mary. American Psycho. I consider this a horror movie without a doubt. Some people say it isn't. They're crazy. Even the writer considers it a horror movie, the writer of the book that it was adapted from. I mean, he's killing people, he's stabbing people, he's killing hookers with chainsaws. I mean, so many great lines in this one. Absolutely love this film. And Christian Bale was perfect for this role. Anatomy and Anatomy 2, German medical school horror movies. I think I like the sequel better than the original. Arachnophobia. This movie still creeps me out. I'm not a fan of spiders and bugs in general. This one always gives me the heebie-jeebies. I get that itchy feeling after I watched it. ATM. I thought this one was pretty good. I wanted a little bit more from the ending, though. Babysitter Wanted. Really enjoy this one. Feel it's very underrated. It's a lot like House of the Devil, except it has a payoff. House of the Devil was just like, when she's in the house, it's like 40 minutes of her just walking around the house, nothing happening, and then the payoff at the end, the last 5 minutes, just wasn't worth it to me. This one is the opposite. There's things going on when she's in the house, and the payoff is totally worth it and totally creepy. I highly prefer this over House of the Devil, but I know that's probably not a popular opinion, but that's just me. Bait 3D. I heard a lot of buzz about this movie. It's an Australian shark attack movie, essentially. I like the idea of it, but it could have been a lot better. Can't say I was necessarily let down, but I think I was just sucked into the hype and all the buzz I heard about it, and I was expecting a little bit more from it. But still decent. The Barons, right here. Again, I love movies with the concept of the Jersey Devil and the Pine Barrens and things like that. I haven't seen one that was exceptional with that idea so far, but hopefully one day there will be one that will be exceptional with the Pine Barrens and the Jersey Devil. I know Last Broadcast did that as well. I wasn't a fan of that movie at all. The Last Broadcast had the same kind of feel as Blair Witch Project, which I wasn't a fan of that either. Basket Case. I was really surprised by how great this looked on Blu-ray. Absolutely love this film. From Something Weird Video. Beetlejuice. This is the 20th anniversary deluxe edition. Comes with the exclusive soundtrack CD sampler with booklet, and this is the lenticular cover right there. I remember seeing this on eBay going for like $70 a while back, but thankfully I got this for like $11 back in the day. Bedeviled, a fantastic Korean revenge movie. One of my favorites now. I absolutely love this one. And again, I did a whole video talking about my top 10 underrated horror movies on Blu-ray. This was on the list, as well as Babysitter Wanted. And you'll see a few other ones in here too, but this one is a must-watch. Absolutely love this one. Dark, and the climax was incredible. Beneath the Darkness with Dennis Quaid. And I have this one right here because it was all jammed up. I haven't moved the shelves yet, and this is Aftermath. This is a fantastic post-apocalyptic movie with a great performance from Edward Furlong. Probably the best performance I've seen from him since, the T2, Terminator days and stuff like that. Really surprised, because I've seen him in a bunch of stuff recently, and I was kind of just seemed like he was going through the motions, like he wasn't really into the films. But this one was a really strong performance from him, and a great post-apocalyptic movie. The pacing does get a little bit bogged down towards the beginning and middle area, but then it really picks up from the middle to end, and definitely worth it. Great performances in there. Big Ass Spider. Really enjoy this one. Just a fun, giant spider movie. Not much more you could say about it. It was just a really entertaining ride that kind of harkened back to the old school creature feature days. And a great cast in there as well. Bigfoot with Alice Cooper and Danny Bonaducci. Black Christmas. This is the special edition right here. Classic one, and the ending always gets me. Very creepy and atmospheric, and it's interesting to think that Bob Clark directed Black Christmas and A Christmas Story. Two great Christmas movies with completely different themes and genres going on there, but both classics. Black Rock, really enjoyed this one as well. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, but very tense and palpable. These three girls go to an island on here that they used to go to when they were younger. They haven't seen each other in a long time, and then they run into these guys who are hunting there, and then something happens, and then they become the hunted, and if they have to fight against these guys and fight for their lives, and it's tense. I dug it. Black Sheep, hilarious horror comedy movie. It basically, these mutant sheep and people turning into sheeps, and just bloody and crazy and hilarious. The Blood Beast Terror with Peter Cushing. This was kind of campy but entertaining as well, and I like the creature in here. Bikini Girls on Ice. I thought it was decent. It's a low-budget slasher, essentially. They could have done more with it. I like the intro a lot, and they didn't really explain, the motives for the killer. I wanted to know more about it. The Body, from the producers of The Orphanage and Julia's Eyes. Julia's Eyes is another one that I think is very underrated. The Bogans. And I always say the Bogans because the old guy at the end of the movie says Bogans instead of Boogans. You would think it's Boogans, but I always say it because that's how that guy in the movie actually said it. Bogans. But I always thought this was a really fun, entertaining movie. I remember watching this when I was a kid. I never thought in a million years this would get a Blu-ray release. And I really liked the interaction with the characters. It seemed really believable, and that they were actually enjoying themselves on set. So it had great chemistry there. And it's a fun creature feature movie. Borderland and Crazy Eights. I got this solely for Borderland. Absolutely love that movie. Great performance from Sean Astin. Brotherhood. A really good, tense movie about a fraternity and something goes wrong. And it's pretty awesome. I really enjoy this one. I never hear anybody talk about that one. Burke and Hare. Again, this one was a pretty decent grave robbery movie, the classic Burke and Hare tale. Case 39, which I think a lot of people don't give this one enough credit because of the mainstream Hollywood cast with Renee Zellweger and Bradley Cooper, but it was very good. It was another creepy, evil kid possession movie. And Renee Zellweger, she's all in the news because she looks different now. I don't know if it's plastic surgery or she just got older or what the deal is, but yeah, she looks a lot different. But Case 39, definitely worth checking out. Don't pass it by just because it has mainstream actors. Give it a chance. The Cat. Chained with Vincent D'Onofrio, a great film from Jennifer Lynch. It's great to see a lot of these female directors doing horror recently. Great psychological horror elements to that as well. Jaws. Chillerama, a really cheesy, fun throwback horror anthology movie. I didn't care for the Werebear segment, but I loved Wadzilla and Diary of Anne Frank. The Children, which I heard a lot of people recommend this to me. This is from Ghost House Underground. And I thought it was okay. I don't think it was as great as the hype. The actions of The Children kind of remind me a little bit of the movie Pontypool, but again with children, with kids. And just the way that it happened and that kind of eerie atmosphere, and they don't really fully explain why they're doing what they're doing. That reminded me of that aspect. Pontypool I absolutely love. This one was decent, but I felt it could have been better. Children of the Corn 3 Urban Harvest. I love the climax to this with the creature, and the little kid who played the lead was totally creepy. Curse of Chucky, which I really enjoyed. The one actress, though, looked like kind of a mannequin. She looked like she had a lot of plastic surgery, but The lead actress, who was Brad Dourif's daughter, actually, she was fantastic in this one. And I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a kind of a return to a better Chucky Envision. I didn't really care for the past couple sequels, so one of the better sequels, and I hope they stay that route. The Collection, which is a nice sequel to The Collector, and I was able to get this one signed up. Go ahead and take the slipcover off. It's an action-packed sequel, great horror action right there, and you can see some of the signatures in silver. I thought it was a really good sequel, and I'm looking forward to see what they do in the future with this franchise. They set it up for a third one, and I hope they do that. And I was able to get The Collector signed up as well. And I thought this was a fantastic film. It's like Home Alone meets Saw. I've been saying that since day one when I first saw it. And some great kills and gore in there. Very creepy and atmospheric. Love this film. The Colony, a post-apocalyptic sci-fi horror film. Again, with the snowy setting, that's what really drew me to this one. And a great cast as well, with Lawrence Fishburne and Bill Paxton and Kevin Zegers as well. And of course, there's cannibals, and they have to fight against the cannibals. And the look to the cannibals kind of remind me to the look in the Vampires in 30 Days of Night a little bit. Confessions of a Murder. The Conjuring, cool lenticular slipcover right there. I don't think there's anything new conceptually here with this film, but it did everything right. I think it's a modern horror classic, and definitely one of the best possession exorcism movies out there, and the Annabelle doll was super creepy. The Craft, I used to have a crush on a few of these girls when I was younger and watching this movie. The Crazies, with the lenticular slipcover from the UK. I got this one solely for collecting purposes because I really do enjoy the movie. And there's the Crazies US version right there. I personally prefer it over Romero's original. I think it was darker and grittier, and I really like the performances in here. Creepshow, classic horror anthology right there. Personally, I think The Crate is my favorite of the segment, but I pretty much enjoy them all. Let me know what your favorite segment from Creepshow is, as well as Creepshow 2. What's your favorite segment from that one? And I think this was a great follow-up, almost as good as the original, really. They're right there. They're 1A, 1B for me for horror anthologies. Really enjoy that one as well. Cube, which I think is super underrated, and I don't hear enough people talking about that one. I did a review for this forever ago, but I just haven't uploaded it. This is the Canadian Blu-ray, so it has, Suspicion de Respion, fear, paranoia. So it has, the French language as well as English text on the outside of the case. But yeah, I plan to post my review hopefully soon. I just got to edit it and then upload it. But really enjoy the heck out of this one. Highly recommend Cube. Cujo, classic. This is the 25th anniversary edition. Devil Dog, a couple killer dog movies back to back right there. Dark Skies. I love alien abduction movies, and I was super excited for this movie, and I was loving this movie. Totally creeped out by it, especially in the beginning and middle of the movie. But then by the end, it kind of devolved, and the ending itself was just a big letdown and kind of a cliche, and definitely took away from the movie as a whole. But overall, I still do enjoy the movie. Darkest Hour. I thought this was actually a pretty good alien invasion movie, kind of unique in a lot of aspects with the aliens themselves and what was happening. And Emile Hirsch is an actor I really enjoy. And it also has the guy from The Killing in here as well. I can't remember his name right now, but he was in the RoboCop remake too. He played his role perfectly in here. And then last but not least is The Darkness right here with Anna Paquin. And I think this is a very underrated movie as well. Very creepy and atmospheric. And more people should check that one out as well. But there we go. There is Horror Blu-ray Shelf number 1. And again, if you've seen these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them as well. And let me know if you want to see a continuation of this with Blu-ray Horror Shelf number 2. Because if I do the whole collection, it'll be like a super long video. It'll be like an hour long or something like that. So I'm not sure how many people would want to sit through that. So I figured I would break it up into segments. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this and want to see more of it. If you do, let me know. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.